Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update, sponsored by Tax Network USA, America's #1 choice for tax resolution. Please go to tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Here's what's happening today in America. Assassination latest. Fire chiefs arrested. P-Diddy arrested. And don't step on that needle. That's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, the man who tried to assassinate President Trump, now the second time, was lying in wait for 12 hours, starting at 1:59 in the morning. This is based on cell phone data near the area. It's now been confirmed that the would-be assassin did not fire any shots, as he was shot at by the Secret Service agent. Joe Biden said, "The one thing I want to make clear is that the Secret Service needs more help, and I think the Congress should respond to their needs if they in fact need more service people." Just so you know, adjusting for inflation, in 2014, the Secret Service spent $2.3 billion. Today, $3.6 billion, a 55% increase in 10 years adjusted for inflation. Money is not the issue here. A former police officer from North Carolina remembers in 2002, she stopped this would-be assassin, who then opened a duffel bag with a gun in it, which prompted her to draw her weapon. He then fled the scene and barricaded himself inside a building, which led to a standoff. This would-be assassin made 19 contributions to Democrats from 2019 to 2020. Just after the NYPD chief resigned amid a federal investigation into possible corruption, now two former fire department officials in New York City were arrested following a year-long corruption investigation. The two men were chiefs in the FDNY Bureau of Fire Prevention, which regulates the installation of fire safety and suppression systems in residential and commercial buildings. These two men were accused of accepting almost $200,000 in bribes in exchange for expediting inspections. Sean Combs, also known as P-Diddy, has been arrested after a grand jury indicted him. It's believed he's charged with racketeering and sex trafficking. The arrest of Sean Combs, who's 54, makes him the highest profile music figure to face criminal charges for sexual misconduct since R. Kelly. 60 state and federal agencies are trying to contain a massive washing on shore of medical waste. Medical waste of hypodermic needles and feminine hygiene products. It's washing on the shore of beaches from Delaware to Virginia. Beaches are closed all along that stretch, and no one knows where this medical waste came from. Beachgoers have been told to not walk on the water's edge. You might step on a needle. I'm Mike Slater for the podcast Politics by Faith, the great Bill O'Reilly with your message of the day. Next.
Did you know every day is a perfect day for peace of mind? With American Home Shield Warranty, you are covered for unexpected breakdowns like leaky faucets or faulty water heaters. Choose a plan that fits your budget and rest easy knowing repairs and replacements are taken care of. Simply contact American Home Shield when an issue arises, and their trusted pros will handle it according to your coverage. Don't let worries about appliances and home systems weigh you down. Celebrate the reassurance of protection. Don't worry, be warranty. For 20% off plans, visit ahs.com/bill. For more details, see ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including limit amounts, fees, limitations, and exclusions. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Tuesday, a few days ago, Pope Francis weighed in on the U.S. presidential race, saying that Catholic voters have to choose between, quote, the lesser of two evils. Now, I forgive the pontiff's embrace of a cliche because he's a good man, in my opinion, supremely concerned about the poor and powerless as Jesus of Nazareth was. According to Catholic dogma, human life is sacred and must be protected. Thus, abortion is a grave sin. Vice President Harris eagerly embraces the life-ending procedure with no restrictions in her quest for political power. I suspect the vice president would contend that a fetus is not a human life. But how would she know that? It's an opinion, not a fact. The absolute certainty, no matter what your belief system, abortion ends a potential human life. The other evil the Pope refers to is limitations on migration. Apparently, Francis believes everyone should be allowed to live where they want with no restraints. Donald Trump adamantly opposes that. It is demonstrable that unregulated immigration leads to social disorder and many harmful unintended consequences as governments are overwhelmed. Whether Francis understands that, I don't know. But Christian doctrine is built on justice rendered to Caesar. A few years ago, Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York asked me to finance a number of homes in Brooklyn for impoverished migrants. I did not ask about their legality. I gave him the money. It was a Christian thing to do. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Let's go to the mail. Marissa, second assassination attempt in 2 months. I'm now less inclined to believe it was just a rogue individual. I don't fall for conspiracy theories, but this is making my eyebrows go up. It's not a conspiracy. All right, if somebody wanted to kill Donald Trump in a conspiratorial way, they wouldn't have these losers with the guns, okay? They're professionals. Kate. Bill, thanks for your coverage of the election. It's thorough and analytical. I've been following you since you were at Fox. I also like your attitude toward surviving well in our society and your smart life tips. So we're looking out for you. That has been continuous in my 27 years doing national news analysis. Our theme is we're looking out for you. I wrote a book with that title. Michael Thomas, Newport Beach, California. If you were interviewing Ms. Harris and asked the question, is the U.S. better off 4 years ago than it is today, and she proceeds to talk about her upbringing, what would you do? I would say to her, with all due respect, you did not answer the question, Madam Vice President. Would you like to give it another try? That's what I would do. Dawn Flynn Hedges, Binghamton, New York. I have a question. What can the vice president do about any of the things that she is being hammered? Could she have closed the border? No. But Kamala Harris promoted these things, all right? She promoted an open border. She promoted a tremendous amount of spending by the Biden administration. She couldn't have stopped it, but she could have did what Mike Pence did. If she didn't support it, she could have kind of just didn't say anything. But she was up there cheerleading it. Yay, give me an O, give me a P, give me an E, give me an N, yay. In a moment, something you might not know. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall, but there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 50 years ago today, President Gerald Ford issued a pardon to so-called draft dodgers and deserters who refused to fight in the Vietnam War. Here is that story. Beginning in 1964, more than 2 million young Americans were drafted into military service. As time went on, names were selected by a lottery linked to their date of birth. Many avoided conscription by enrolling in college. Others claimed religious or medical exemptions. As many as 500,000 refused to fight. 200,000 were charged with evading the draft, including boxer Muhammad Ali, whose conviction was overturned by the Supreme Court. Some were arrested, some sentenced to 18 months in prison, others fined $5,000. About 50,000 Americans fled to Canada or Mexico. After a decade of bloodshed, the Vietnam War ended in January 1973. On September 16th, 1974, President Ford issued a proclamation granting a conditional pardon to some draft dodgers, provided they work in a public service job for 2 years. Those who fled the country were not eligible for amnesty. Ford himself, a veteran of World War II, hoped the pardon would heal the divided country, but it did not. Veterans Group condemned Ford's proclamation, and his approval rating plummeted. The public held it against Gerald Ford, and he lost to Democrat Jimmy Carter 2 years later. Carter then issued an unconditional pardon for nearly all draft dodgers on his first day of office, no public service involved. And here's something else you might not know. The most popular destination for Americans who refused to fight in Vietnam was Toronto. Despite the pardon, 40,000 U.S. citizens remained there after the war. Now, that exile community still exists to this day. And the final stat, the pardon that Gerald Ford offered was only taken up by 21,000 draft dodgers or deserters. Back after this. Is your finance software not cutting it? Check out Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card and spend management software designed to help you save time and money. Ramp gives finance teams unprecedented control and insight into expenses. With Ramp, you're able to issue cards to every employee with limits and restrictions and automate expense reporting so you can stop wasting time at the end of every month. Ramp is very easy to use, saves you money, whether you have 5 or 5,000 employees. Businesses save an average of 5% the first year. Right now, you can get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/no-spin. Ramp.com/no-spin. Please note, cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC, terms and conditions apply. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.